So we have our first major trade of the 2025-26 season. The Atlanta Hawks agreeing to send four-time All-Star Trae Young to the Washington Wizards, getting back CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert in return. So let's unpack this from both sides, because when I talk to people around the league, they can see what both of these teams are trying to get out of this deal. Let's start in Atlanta, where we've known for some time that the Trae Young era was likely coming to an end. 7.5 years for Trae Young in Atlanta, but the writing has been on the wall for months now. The Hawks did not have substantive contract extension talks with Trae Young in the offseason. They preferred to see what Young looked like with this retooled rotation. And the facts are that the results haven't been very good. Young has been injured for most of the year, but the Hawks are 2-8 in the games that Trae has played in this season. The defense has been measurably worse with Young on the floor. And during the 22 games that he missed early in the season, when Nickeil Alexander-Walker took his place in the starting lineup alongside Dyson Daniels, the defense improved. And it has become clear to Atlanta that playing a bigger lineup in today's NBA is the best way to win. Certainly they'll miss Young's offense, but defensive versatility, a highly valued commodity in today's NBA, and the Hawks were just better defensively when Young was off the floor. In McCollum and Kispert, they get back to pretty solid guys. I mean, CJ McCollum has been a durable player in Washington this year, averaging right around 18, 19 points per game. He'll shoot high 30s from three-point range. He'll shoot high 40s from the field. And from what I was told, the Hawks are pretty intrigued by what Corey Kispert can offer. Kispert, a former first-round pick in Washington. He is a career 38% three-point shooter. Now the Hawks have two, sweet shooting wings. They've got Luke Kennard already there. Now they add Corey Kispert to that mix. So they can see both of these guys, McCollum and Kispert, being part of their rotation. And maybe more importantly, they have some financial flexibility moving forward. It's no secret. We've talked about it here on the YouTube channel that the Hawks are still looking to go big game hunting this season. And as I've reported, the guy that they have their eye on is Anthony Davis. They would love to add Anthony Davis's defensive presence to their front court. And now, not only do they have two big expiring contracts, they've got two $30 million plus expiring deals in McCollum and Porzingis. They are off the final year of Trae's contract, the $49 million that he was owed next season if he had picked up that player option. That gives them more flexibility to do a deal for a guy like Davis, who is under contract for next year. So I would expect the Hawks to continue to ramp up their efforts to go after Anthony Davis, to continue to pursue another star to add to their front court. For the Wizards, this makes sense on a couple of levels. Short term, Washington really needs a star. The Wizards are on their way to their 8th consecutive losing season. They have had one playoff appearance in that time. They were beaten the first round in 5 games during that appearance. Capital One Arena, there's no life in that building. They needed to give those Wizards fans something to get excited about. And Trae Young is that kind of player, an energizing kind of player. The Wizards have been looking for some help in that backcourt as well. So Trae Young fits what they're looking for in Washington. He is still a premier scorer. He is a year removed from leading the NBA in assists. He is the kind of guy that can inject some life, some enthusiasm, just some energy into that team. And look, financially, while Young's contract did not really work for Atlanta in the long term, the Wizards don't really have that problem. The Wizards were projected to have about $80 million in cap space next year. That's great to have all that cap flexibility, but it's only great if you got somebody to spend it on. And the Wizards are not an appealing destination for marquee free agents. They were probably faced with having to overpay some guys just to meet that salary cap floor where the NBA requires all teams to get to. Now, assuming Young picks up his option, and I'd be surprised if he didn't, I don't think there are going to be real contract extension talks between the Hawks and Young the rest of this season. Probably not until into next season. So it makes a lot of sense for Trae Young to pick up that $49 million extension. And for the Wizards, that's fine. That can eat up a lot of their cap flexibility. And if it turns out that Trae is a great fit in Washington, that he works alongside Alex Sarr and some of the young players they've got in DC, well, then you can do a long-term deal with Trae Young. If it doesn't work out and they want to try to move off him, well, there are going to be teams that are interested in a $49 million expiring contract. So it makes some sense for them all along. Something that has come up, though, that people have been talking about is what if Trae Young is too good for the Wizards this year? And I say that because the Wizards, their first-round draft pick is top 8 protected. The Wizards are going to keep that first-round draft pick. They are determined to keep that first-round draft pick. If it goes outside the top 8, the Knicks get it. They're still in the rebuilding phase. Certainly, Trae, at his best, could help this team collect wins, could be an impactful player on winning. But Trae right now is dealing with some injury issues. He had the knee injury early in the season. He's dealing with a quad injury right now. It wouldn't surprise anyone in the NBA if the Wizards slow play a Trae return. And when we get towards the end of the season, maybe some of these injuries, these nagging injuries, they require the Wizards shut him down for the last few weeks or even a month of the season. We've seen it happen before. It was just a year ago when the Toronto Raptors acquired Brandon Ingram. He was injured at that time. He didn't play a game for the Raptors the rest of the season. Could something similar happen with Trae Young? I don't think he's going to sit out the rest of the season, but I can see a scenario where Trae is not playing in a ton of games for the Wizards over the rest of this year as they try to protect that draft position, stay inside that top 8. So the Hawks, to bring it all back around, the Hawks, they end the Trae Young era, which was coming anyway. They get some financial flexibility. They get a couple of useful pieces if they decide to keep them for the rest of this season in McCollum and Kispert. And the Wizards, they get the star that they've been looking for, and they're able to take a flyer on Young and see if his skills mesh with these young players and that he can be part of this team for years to come.